My name's Steve, and you're watching Arts Alive Delaware. I think our role, as it has developed over the years, has been to address what are called underserved communities. And to that point, I think back to, I think of a quote from the movie Rocky that I think applies to us. And when Rocky is asked what it is that draws he and Adrian together, his response is, "We fill gaps." And I think that's what the Rehoboth Summer Children's Theater does. I think we fill gaps. I think, for example, with our outreach theater tour, we literally bring live professional theater into every community in Kent and Sussex County throughout a 7-week period in the summer. So we're reaching out to people who can therefore easily find a free public performance, whether it's a library or a community center or a park, and enjoy that. And so that's been very much of our purpose, is to reach out. My wife and I met doing theater in Atlanta. We toured in dinner theaters in our early career, in our early years of our marriage. We took a long-term job in touring in assembly programs, mostly over the Northeast United States, brought us to the Philadelphia area where we settled and created our own company, producing 2 actor plays, Elise and I, doing our thing. The Delaware Division not the Division of Arts, but rather the Division of Libraries, saw one of our shows and brought us to do a tour of Delaware libraries. And that brought us to Rehoboth Beach and Bethany Beach, and which was something we had never really been aware of before. And what we saw down here was wonderful. Developed nicely with the 2 of us, and in 1986 we then incorporated as a nonprofit because things were moving along so nicely. And then we started having a family, and we started bringing in other actors and developing, and it's grown from there. Then we started doing small-scale workshops for children, 1-hour, 2-hour workshops, and that grew into the theater camps. And then, 15 years or so, we added film camps. And that's how it's all grown into what it has become now. The performances that we do are very different. They're professional performances. Now we are hiring 2 professional actors to be in residence with us for the summer. Between my wife and I, we write these scripts, and they are high energy. They're 45 minutes of nonstop action, where we'll take a play like, for example, this coming summer, 2025, we'll be doing Aladdin. Aladdin has 12 different characters performed by 2 people with constant motion, constant action. And so in terms of the families coming in to see the show, whether it's, like I say, it's the library or say the Canal Front Park in Lewis, or we are often doing shows at the Freeman Performance Center there in Selbyville. And we very seldom have any worries about children paying attention or getting involved. We've always been able to between the energy and between the scripting that draws in both the children and the parents into a show. That's one of the things we've used as kind of a watchword of when we talk to people about our shows. It was like, when was the last time you and your kids laughed at the same thing? we're going to provide that for you. So that's how we draw kids in and keep them focused for the shows. I think with the camps, we keep them busy, we keep them focused, and find a way to have a good time and learn something about the arts, whether it's film, theater, and actually learn something about themselves and their own skills and their own confidence. The arts anywhere are incredibly important and provide a richness to life just in general. I mean, picturing life without the arts, without music, without theater, without literature, without painting, would be pretty grim. So there's that, where we want to enrich our lives by experiencing the arts. And by experiencing the arts, it's always, to me, a great window out, not only out into the world at large, to learn what's out there and learn how people deal with things, learn how the world works. But the arts are also a great window that is, into yourself. You learn a lot about yourself by participating in the arts, finding what painting reaches you, what music stirs your soul. And what's always fine is when you find an art situation, whether, like I say, it's literature or a song or something that reaches you in a way you never ever expected and takes you to another place that's very special to you. That's when art really makes a difference in people's lives. And I've seen that personally, and I've seen that time and again with others. And so that's important there. And then as it applies to working with the children in the children's theater, the children are generally open, eager to learn, eager to experience something, eager to find something new and exciting. So it's always great to tap into that initial energy. Has been great. And once we tap into that, though, then we find ways where children, then again, they find ways to express themselves as an actor, as a writer, as a director, as a member of the ensemble, where they discover a lot about themselves, for sure. And that's the great joy of working with children, is when you see a child come out of themselves and find something special about themselves that they didn't really know ahead of time. And that happens in the theater. That happens with us a lot. And so that's why the arts are so important. It was a way for my wife and I to find work in the theater. And we were, rather than waiting around, we decided to create something and make it happen that way. But we believed wholeheartedly in the value of working with children and families. I mean, that was always the concept of the family theater, getting families together to enjoy themselves in a single experience. And but through the years, it has just been a wonderful I hesitate to say organization, but a wonderful experience, because it's my whole life. And by that I mean, it started out as my wife and I together creating it. And then as it's grown through the years, my kids, we have 5 kids, and they all participated in the theater in one form or another, whether it's the business end or performing. And this gave, my children the chance to really understand about the theater and the arts and what it takes to to put something on. And so that has been personally very gratifying to have this experience to have passed along to them, and they have grown tremendously, and especially they're involved in the arts now in many ways. My son especially, my oldest son, Sharon, who's a composer, a Curtis grad, and he now, every year, every summer now, he produces a concert series. He gets his Curtis and Juilliard buddies to come down and do a concert 3 times in Rehoboth and Bethany and Milford in the summer. So, that's been a way for me to feel like we're reaching out not only to the community, finding a way to develop a family, finding a way to have a real experience in the theater that means something not only to my wife and I, but to our audience, to our patrons. What's been very special for me is the talent that we have had coming through in all these 40-plus years. The actors, the instructors, all of the very special people who we've developed relationships through the years. And that has been a joy to have so many years of experiencing working with real talent and dedication. And that's been, again, very much of something that I'm very proud of, that I've been able to find this talent, bring it to Delaware, and put it out there, and let the people of Delaware share in that.